I thought my father was a saint for keeping me alive. Then I ate a strawberry. My whole life I had never eaten a meal that my father didn't prepare. He told me it was the only way to keep me safe. I was 4 years old when my father discovered I was allergic to almost everything. Strawberries would close my throat, dairy would send me into anaphylaxis, gluten would make my organs swell, nuts and shellfish and eggs and soy, and the list went on until the only safe foods were plain rice and boiled chicken and steamed broccoli and a handful of other things my father rotated carefully. He cooked every single meal I ever ate for 22 years. He tested every ingredient. He called ahead to every school event and birthday party to make sure I wouldn't accidentally die. I never had a job because I couldn't eat at a workplace. I never traveled because I couldn't trust restaurant kitchens. I never went on a date because what was the point when I couldn't share a meal with someone? My father gave up his whole life to keep me alive, and I reminded myself to be grateful every single day. He always told me, "Your mother didn't understand how sick you were. That's why she left us." I believed him because I had no reason not to. When I was 25, I met a guy named Owen at my physical therapy clinic. He asked me to get coffee and I said, "I can't drink coffee. I'm allergic." He asked me to get dinner and I said, "I can't eat at restaurants. I'm allergic to almost everything." He said, "What can you eat?" I said, "Food my father makes." He looked at me for a long moment and said, "Has that ever seemed strange to you?" I told my father about Owen and he immediately got tense. He said, "Be careful with him. He doesn't understand your condition." Owen kept asking questions that made me uncomfortable. He said, "Have you ever been retested as an adult? Allergies can change over time." I told my father and he snapped at me. He said, "The last time someone questioned your allergies, you almost died. Do you want that to happen again?" I told Owen to drop it and he did. Owen's mother invited us to her birthday dinner and my father prepared a special meal for me to bring. I sat at the table with my little container while everyone else ate pot roast and salad and cake. Owen's mother said, "I feel so terrible that you can't enjoy any of this with us." I said, "I'm used to it by now." I picked up my rice and accidentally grabbed a fork from the table instead of my own. I took a bite of salad without thinking. I realized what I'd done when I tasted something sweet. I looked down and there were strawberries in the salad. I immediately panicked. I said, "I need my EpiPen right now. I just ate strawberry." Owen grabbed my bag and found the pen. Everyone was frozen waiting for me to collapse. I waited for my throat to close. I waited for the hives and the swelling and the racing heart. Nothing happened. I kept waiting. Nothing. Owen said, "How do you feel?" I said, "Fine. I feel completely fine." Owen said, "We're going to the allergist first thing tomorrow morning." The doctor ran a full panel the next day. He sat me down with the results and said, "I don't know how to tell you this, but you have no allergies. None at all. Not to strawberries or dairy or gluten or anything else on your list." I drove to my father's house and walked in without knocking. He was sitting at the kitchen table like he was expecting me. I said, "I ate a strawberry and nothing happened. I got tested. I'm not allergic to anything." He put his head in his hands. I said, "Tell me the truth right now." He started crying and said, "You don't understand. I had to do it. Your mother was going to take you away from me." I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "When you were 4, she filed for divorce. She was going to get full custody. I needed to prove I was the better parent." I felt my whole body go cold. He said, "I told the court she was feeding you things that made you sick. I had to keep you sick or everyone would know I made it up." I said, "You made me a prisoner in my own body so you could win a custody case?" He wouldn't look at me. I said, "What about the disability payments? The caretaker stipend you've been collecting for 22 years? He said nothing. I did the math in my head. Thousands of dollars every month for over 2 decades. I said, "Did my mother really abandon us?" He still wouldn't answer. I walked to his bedroom closet and started tearing through boxes. I found it in the back corner, a shoebox stuffed with envelopes, all of them addressed to me in handwriting I didn't recognize, all of them unopened. 22 years of letters from my mother that he never let me see. I took the box and walked out without saying another word. My father is under investigation for fraud and I'm learning how to eat like a normal person. My mom and I are reconnecting.